Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Top Shelf D. Reed, entrepreneur and author of the best-selling book, Mindset Go. You got to check me out on my man, Kevin Kelley show, The Father's Coach, coming up next.
Welcome to the Father's Coach podcast. My name is Kevin L. Kelley, the Father's Coach. What is the Father's Coach podcast? The Father's Coach podcast is here to reform the image of fatherhood in our culture. How do we do that? We engage men and fathers in the leadership qualities of fatherhood. Thank you. Welcome back to the Father's Coach podcast. My name is Kevin L. Kelley, and I have an interesting guest. This is part 2. We brought him back. The world wanted him back. Hey. Our friends wanted him back. Hey. The things that we were talking about went viral. Sure. I'm telling you, Derrick D. Reed, the Renaissance Man, he's back. The Renaissance Man is back, and we're here. You know what? We had so many different topics to talk about. We had so many different questions that we couldn't even get to it because we were just chopping it up. And I think today we brought him back, and we're going to attempt to get some of these questions done. You know, thanks for coming back.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you look good.
Oh man, likewise.
Wow.
It's good to be back. I love this. I love it. So
wow. Well, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming. We're reforming the image of fatherhood in this culture, and I think you're an excellent example. I've seen so many people who actually seen the post. Everything went viral, and they're like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Well, we're gonna get him again. We're gonna get him again." I even shared it with one of my mentees.
Good.
He's about 14 years old. I shared it with one of him and his mom, and they were like, "Wow, this guy! I'm gonna get him again. I started to bring him down to the studio.
Hey, you're more than welcome. Come, you know.
Yeah, maybe next time. But one thing I do want to talk about too, we're gonna get right into this, is self-government. You know, there's some things that I share with a lot of my mentees, and also share with some of the schools that I'm in partnership with, is self-government. So let me give you a little background of how I view self-government. Self-government is, if you don't govern yourself, somebody else will govern you.
I agree.
So if these guys out here running around the streets doing some crazy things and they don't govern themselves, the cops will govern them, or the prisons will govern them. So self-government is not just in those scenarios, but there's other scenarios. In order for you to be this Renaissance man, how do you see self-government?
I think that's actually a great topic to even put it that way. There's an old saying that I heard. It said that if you don't have a plan for your life, then someone else will. Yeah,
they sure
will.
What
I mean? What I thought was really profound. That someone said that. Self-government starts with loving yourself and knowing who you are.
Okay.
I think we're in a phase where there's a lot of people that are dealing with mental issues sometimes. You know what I mean? May not know how severe they are. It could be on a lower level or high level, but they deal with a mental issue where they tend to live inside their mind, and they actually put their mental, which I call the brain more so our computer. You know, it's not who we are. I call it like the computer. And that what happened is you feed it so many things that develop a virus. It's just like computers. You know what I mean? And then it wants to take over and be under the steering wheel. Not to get too deep in it. You know, I know we just started.
Let's get deep.
But it gets your mind will take over the steering wheel and put you on the passenger side. And if you let it go even further, it'll put you in the back seat. So now you're being governed by your mind. You are being governed by your mind, and that's not who you are. You want to switch that around and start governing your mind, and you in the driver's seat, taking your mind where you want to go. So I think government is like really important. You have to be able to control yourself, and how that starts is loving yourself and being who you are.
I like that.
Knowing who you are.
So are there controllers in place that you can put in place that can help govern? Because you're a Renaissance man. I mean, you just retired from barbering and everything, so you had to have some things in place, some boundaries, some kind of structures or foundation in place, self-government principles, in order for you to go to the next level, like pillars. So what are some of those things that you can help out some of the audience, you know?
That's fun. That's you actually put it there, like number one, boundaries, you know what I mean? And then having some type of a structure. I think a lot of times you want to be to a point where you're hanging around the right people. You know what I mean? That's on a more positive vibe. One thing about me, I try to hang around with more go-getters and stuff like that, or people that's doing something. And I'm not saying everyone you hang around is going to be a go-getter, but let's at least let the majority be on the focus of we're trying to do something, we're trying to go somewhere, and we're trying to be successful. So it does start with that. They said you can actually put a child in a good home in a bad neighborhood, but the child can turn out better if it was a bad home in a good neighborhood because of the outside influence. You know what I mean? And I probably would have to say it again to really get it, but people, what? Yes. You know what I mean? There's studies. You know what I mean? You come from a broken home, but you live in a good neighborhood. So what they were saying is that's what's on the outside more so influences you. So you really have to have the right pieces, structure around you that's going to set up some good barriers to help you govern yourself.
Self-government principles. Wow, I like that. I like when you was talking about like those accountability partners. Yes. So when you were talking about the people, the relationships, I immediately thought of mentors, those in our lives, accountability partners. Yes. So I always say like my top 3 or my top 5. Right. So when it's the worst day of my life, somebody I got on speed dial. Good. It's the best day of my life. It may be the same person, but it's accountability. Yes. It's accountability all the way around. So I think that's part of my self-government. That's part of yours too. Yes, yes. But then now this is going to lead us to professional development. Now, do you believe in professional development?
Absolutely.
In what way? And I'm bringing these principles out because, we're reforming the image of manhood and fatherhood. And a lot of people don't have these principles in their lives. And I think that we can use this podcast right here, these questions that I have. Yes. That could be.
We're not going to miss nothing at all.
We're not going to miss anything. But we're actually teaching and we're actually instruction, which is part of my core values. We'll talk about that a little later too. Right. But what are some of the personal development keys that we can give to our listeners? Not just the youth, but also men, because I know you mentor men as well.
Accountability. Having people that has like-minded around you, whether it's mentors, whether it's father coaches, you know what I mean? No pun intended, I guess. You know what I mean? Father's coach. People that you can actually depend on that's not going to just be a yes man. Someone that's just not going to agree with everything you're doing. You know what I mean? Even if it's wrong, you got some people you need some people that's going to hold you accountable and say, nah, I need to be able to talk to you, lay the emotions aside. I want you to advance. So that helps. And no matter what age you are, I think it's important for you to have someone that can hold you accountable and likewise, you know what I mean? And it helps you, because iron does sharpen iron. Yes. So you want to get to the point where, we're sharpening each other. And again, I think we even talked about it last time. A lot of times we tend to add emotions to the word truth. Truth needs to stand alone. Truth needs to stand alone, and it's going to take a while for people to really catch on to really what I'm saying, because truth is truth. It's not about emotions. It's not about how you feel, whether you feel good about it or bad. No, that's on the side. Emotions is one thing, but if I'm telling you the truth, and especially if it's something that's going to better your life, I think we got to get to the point where we just receive truth. You know what I mean? And when people act up when you give them the truth, chill. Somebody needs to say, hey, it's truth. We don't do that, because truth is truth, and you need someone around you that can hold you accountable. So that's some of the professional development and all that stuff that you would need, around you. So
when you said truth, you ignited something in me.
There you go.
Because there's this conversation we've been having with male and females, but they're talking about my truth. I think that's a curveball when people talk about my truth. My truth. Wow. What is my truth? Because we talk about the truth you said that the truth needs to stand alone. What truth? Where's the truth coming from? What is the standard?
That's a good point. I hear people say it all the time. It's starting to be real popular where people say, well, this is my truth. No, it's actually what you believe. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that don't make it true. You know what I mean? Well, truth is followed up by evidence and facts. So what are the facts and what are the evidence that's supporting your truth? And some people, again, they want to get emotional because I said it. They want to be emotional because I believe it. Just because you believe it doesn't make it right. And I tell people all the time, what is truth? Truth is backed up by knowledge and it's backed up by support of facts. Okay. It's something that we can prove. You know what I mean? Okay.
Now give us some of your truths that you live by.
Some of my truth that I live by, I've learned a lot of things in life, even being a writer and an author. You know what I mean?
Good plug.
One thing that I did, mine say go. Ready, set, go. Mine say go. One of the things, and it's funny because even on my podcast, I ended with this, but it's something I am so strongly, something I really strongly know. Let me say, I'm going to say believe, something that I really strongly know. And that's most people say when things get right, I'm going to make a move, But the reality is not that. Things get right when you make a move. Until we really understand that, then we won't we'll be stagnant. We won't even move forward because what happened is fear is sinking. And in truth, if you flip it around, if things were right, you would never move. You know what I mean? So you're also saying that when things get right, I'll make a move. Oh man, I'm just waiting for this. I'm just waiting for that. No. The future, the destiny, the purpose is waiting for you to move.
It's waiting for you to move.
It's waiting for you to make the move, because even you're moving is an act of faith too.
Exactly.
Not seeing, but just knowing. You know what I mean? So it go hand in hand. Things get right when you make a move. It's a faith move. You know what I mean? And then the universe comes in and say, you know what? We're going to support what you know.
I like
and
that.
you know you're gonna make it.
We
So
talked about that last week. And I like that faith, because a lot of people throw that word faith out like it's a magical word.
You gotta have it.
But faith is actually risk. Faith is actually risk.
Yeah.
And it's risk. It's risk on anything, but it's where you put your life into. But one thing that I do know is when you're talking about we're waiting for everything to get right.
Yes.
We're waiting for everything to get right. How about we got all this power in us? We got ingenuity. We have so many different, you're a genius. You're a genius.
Right.
I'm a genius, right?
Right.
So the thing is, when people talk about this is a new season, well, who declares a new season?
Right.
I could declare this a new season. I said it earlier, that today is a new season, and where I'm walking is going to be flourishing, right?
Right.
So I declare that, not when things are going good.
Right.
It's when I make up my mind, when I make a decision.
To move.
I just made a decision to move.
Yes.
I made a decision to write that book. I made a decision to get up early and start the manuscript.
Right. I think we worry about a lot of outside things that may happen. Again, if you wait too long and you're waiting for something to happen, then fear sinks in.
Yeah.
And then procrastination, you know what I mean, and all the other things that come with contributing you not to move forward.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, and I have to stress this, because anything that I talk about for is a point I'm trying to make. Number one, I'm trying to make the point because I do believe that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome is insanity. So I do understand the definition of insanity. I understand that. So if we keep doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, well, we're just insane. So you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to get to the point where you're going to have to make a move if you want it.
Yeah.
If you want it, you know what I mean? And in course, in sports, the touchdown is the goal. We're not going to worry about who's trying to tackle. We're not going to worry about, because people are going to try to face match you. People are going to try to kick you in somewhere you don't want them to kick you. They're going to try to stop you. You got the haters. You got the people that don't want to support you and all those things. But your goal is touchdown. Your goal is I must score. But you're not going to score until you what? Get on the field first.
Get in the game.
No one's going to give you the ball until you get on the field. How about that? But you have to make a move first. I'm just waiting for the ball to come to me. I'm sitting on the sideline. You're not in. How? Things get right when you make a move.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So when you're ready to make a move, when you're ready to bust a move, when you're ready to make a move, first of all, when you make a decision, once you make a decision, you're already just alleviating other options and the distractions and everything. But I think we all live, all of us, everybody in this room, everybody in this region, everybody on this planet, I believe all of us live by a set of rules. Yes.
We
live by a set of blueprints.
Yes.
Some of those blueprints were given to us. Some was passed down to us. Some was we just figuring out.
Yes.
And I think you said earlier, because of coaches and mentors and just people and wise people in our lives, that kind of those that help us be accountable.
Yes.
I think there's a different set of people, right, that can help us go further, like a coach.
Yes, I agree.
Like a coach, like you were sharing last week about someone that kind of assists you, like your mentor. I don't know if you said you're a mentor or your coach, right?
Mentor, yeah.
And I have a coach too, and my guy Tracy Armstrong, and what he does, he 10x me.
Okay.
When I talk to him, I get challenged.
Wow.
He challenged me so much, is that I feel like I'm not doing enough. Not in a negative way. Not in a negative way.
Right.
I feel that I'm not doing enough. That means I need to wake up earlier. Or not stay up later, or just be disciplined.
Yes.
The D word.
That's
just
right.
be disciplined in what I say, what I believe,
I agree.
what I know.
What you know.
What I know.
That's beginning of knowledge.
So the blueprints, the set of blueprints that I
Yes.
talked about earlier. So all of us have a set of blueprints that we kind of walk out, right?
Yes.
Sometimes some of us need to erase the set of blueprints, right?
Yes.
But you have a set of blueprints that you follow.
Yes.
Right?
So I call it brick by brick.
Brick by, oh my God.
Brick by brick. So
Okay.
it sounds like you've been reading. So yeah. Certain blueprints. My dad used to always say, and I'm sure you guys heard this, you can't build a castle on quicksand.
What chapter is that in the book?
I think it's chapter 7.
Chapter 6, I think.
6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know. You already on it. See? I love it. My dad used to say you can't build a castle on quicksand. My dad was in construction, so he knew about building bricks and stuff like that. And what he was basically saying, that you're going to have a solid foundation. everybody has different points and foundations and stuff that they use. I call it brick by brick because it takes one brick at a time to build your life and to build your career. It takes one brick at a time and never be a despiser of a small beginning. You know what I mean? One of the bricks I do know that's important to me is effort. Like effort is one of my bricks, that I have to have. I have to be able to have that vigorous challenge and going forward to complete a task. So effort is definitely one of my bricks I have to have.
You just answered my next question. We're going to talk about core values.
Okay.
Talk about core values, which is a set of principles that we live by.
Yes.
And you just said effort.
Yes.
Wow. But I believe that some core values and principles that we have, they're seasonal.
Yes.
So like right now, I'm building different things. I believe I'm in a higher place.
Awesome.
That means I'm doing different things now. I'm doing different things. Because I'm doing different things, I need another set of blueprints, and possibly I need to talk to my mentor. I need to talk to my coach, about these things. That's so we all need a coach. Every coach needs a coach. Every mentor needs a mentor. Every pastor needs a pastor. Every teacher needs a teacher for their next level.
And every father needs a father.
Every father needs a father. And you got your core values from your father.
Yes, definitely.
And I have my core values from my father too.
Definitely. Shout out to my dad. The late great Mr. Sam Reed. But yes, he want to help me with my bricks, with my brick building. By being a person that laid bricks and stuff. So.
Wow. So I'm going to get back to something that we talked about last week. I really didn't get into it, but I know that you wear many hats. Yes. And I coin you as a Renaissance man. Awesome. When I look at Renaissance man, I kind of go back to like the 1920s African American, 1920s black man, and Harlem Renaissance time. And I just look at those guys that just doing a lot of different things. They dress up. You talk about classic man too.
Yes, classic. Yeah.
But these guys were dressed up every day, and they were going about their day. Even if they didn't go to church on Sunday, they was walking down the street with their woman.
Yes.
With ice cream, those kind of men.
Yes.
So with you having all those wearing all those hats, how do you find time? Time currency. How do you find time with your wife?
You know what? I think when it comes down to that, it's challenging because you start putting things in categories of priority.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I always make family and my home relationship priority. You know what I mean? And you understand that one thing women love is time and emotion. So time, if you forget that, love. You know what I mean? They want time. They want, and not just the time, they want quality time. With me juggling and balancing so many things, I think it's just important for me to make my wife a priority, always, what I mean? It's very important, I mean, what they say, happy wife, happy life, whether the guys believe that or not, what I mean? I want to be happy too, but for the most part, but I understand it. So with me, I try to, again, invest my time currency, my time money. I'm going to be honest with you, like time is just like money to me, what I mean? It's really, and that's why I call it time currency, time money, because I am investing something that's very important to me. Again, your time is your most precious commodity asset because you're not getting it back. You know what I mean? So one thing for sure, if all the other things hats that I wear go away, that family's still gonna be there. My wife's still gonna be there. My son's gonna be there. My daughter's gonna be there. You know what I mean? They're gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Are they going to Africa with you?
Yes. I don't know if all my kids, I got 3 girls and a boy, I don't know if all of them going, but we definitely, me and my wife definitely going back over there. We love Africa.
It's got to be amazing. It has to be amazing. It has to be amazing for a father to just live his life out, live out his dreams, live out his goals, his dream with God, living out those dreams in front of his family.
Yes.
This is the father's coach right here. So you train up a child in the way he should go, and when he get old, he will not depart, right?
Yes.
That's for my one of my favorite books. So you train up a child in the way he should go, when he get old, he will not depart. So what does legacy mean to you?
Oh, that's a good one. That's cool. And it's funny, I'm hearing legacy a lot. You know what I mean? I'm hearing it in music. I'm hearing it in people's lifestyle. Legacy is really becoming real big. And shout out to a good friend of mine who's a musical director, Adam Blackstone.
I got that album too.
Yes, and his album's called Legacy. And he always say legacy. Legacy is actually you building a foundation, you building a career, you building a lifestyle, you're building a way or a culture that can be passed on to someone else with your same name or same blood. But at the same time, it's not limited to that. A lot of people think that you can just pass your legacy down to your kids. And we hear that all the time as if that's the only way. But it's not that. It's not just that. Your legacy is passing down something to the community, passing out to others who actually saw your lifestyle or saw your blueprint and say, you know what, it works. It works, and we're going to make sure that it carries on and keep working.
You're talking about this thing called grid. I call this thing called grid.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So the grid that I have is husband, wife, my marriage, right?
Right.
My children,
That's right.
My daughter, so my family, right? The church,
Yes.
business,
Yes.
business, and community initiatives. So that's my grid. So just by default, I watch my father because I was created in my father's image, right? I look just like him.
Wow.
I mean, people see, just a simple. I give a shout out to James Kelley, my father.
All right.
The thing is, he opened up doors for me. Speaking engagements, just because I'm his son.
Wow.
So, but that was his grid. That's what I saw. I saw how
it's passed down.
It's passed down to me. Now I have community initiatives and stuff. I'm on different boards. I was part of Delaware Fatherhood Family Coalition. I was doing all these things because I believe that you should leave an inheritance in the community and not just in my household.
Oh,
that's what I believe.
I agree.
But
Good stuff. Yes, yes.
inheritance, like
Yes.
baton passing.
Yes.
So I know you're passing the baton, but you going to Africa, you're passing the baton to all of us.
Yes.
You're like, come join me.
Yeah, you know what, Kev, I see a lot of people traveling and going different places, and no shade against like going to Dubai and all the stuff that we brag about going and stuff like that. Yeah. But for some reason, I haven't seen a lot of us trying to go back to the motherland or going back home. You know what I mean? And it's not just our motherland; it's the motherland.
Yes.
Because according to archaeology, all life started in Africa. You know what I mean? Ethiopia, right? So all life started in Africa. So it's kind of all of our motherland. And let me be honest, one thing you will find out, there are a lot of Caucasian people in Africa. Yeah. Like I was on a resort in Africa one time, and it was we was like 5%. The black people was like 5%. Yeah, the other 95 was, Caucasian and other races.
How did that feel?
It was surprising. I got my own little thoughts about it. You know what I mean? But and not that it was bad or anything like that. It was a really.
What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Or seeing that over there?
Yeah.
Firsthand, I was like, you know what? Why we not doing this? Why we not coming over here? I stay at a black-owned resort over in there.
So you're investing?
It's called Tamala.
Are you investing over there too?
I'm investing with my foundation over in Gambia, the His Image Foundation, so I'm investing with that. You would be surprised how many young guys over there, 18, 19 years old, who fathers or uncles have left them land. And they be having like 50 acres, 60 acres, don't know what to do. They just go out there. They go out there and cut the grass. I got some guys over there that I consider nephews. They own land. They say, they send me pictures and videos. They cutting the grass. Say, I just got to go out here and cut my land today. Where you get that from? Well, my great-grandfather, my father left me this land over in Africa. So, I mean, I do enjoy that and going over there and experience the culture. But I do really, I advise everyone to try to, go. You can go with me. You can go to Africa with me. You can go with me. You know what I mean? Over in Gambia. Yeah. And I go to Senegal too. Which is a French province, and then you got Gambia, the Smiling Coast is the English province. So it's good to have someone over there that can actually speak French or their language over there. It helps. Yeah. And I do go with a tour guide that can, not really a tour guide, but someone that speaks that.
I love that when you talk about land, and people have said that there's that God ain't making no more land. So if we have opportunities to get land,
there's plenty of it.
Grab it and do something. And so that's going to lead me to this. What do you have any strategic plans for the legacy or for inheritance?
Well,
for your child?
Yeah, I do. And I'm glad you even mentioned that. With me, I started out as a professional barber, professional instructor. I swear I went from the basement to the boardroom. You know what I mean? I went from cutting in the basement all the way up to becoming the president of Board of Cosmetology and barbering in
awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you. And,
awesome.
And I actually helped change some laws. I've been there. I was there for about 7 years. Again, like 6 to 7 years. You probably are supposed to be president maybe 2 or 3 year term, but they asked me to come back, and I was like, cool. So I went there and gave them a couple of extra years. I said to say that because by me working in the barbershop, opening up a barbershop, I thought my son was really going to take to it and stuff. He could still cut. Yes. But my daughter went on and became a professional barber, professional stylist, an instructor. Everything that I've done, she done probably did it or took it a little further.
Wow.
So part of that is passing down a legacy or passing down some skills and stuff like that. But the other thing is more so giving them that family structure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I didn't do anything else, as far as business, I gave them a blueprint on how to be a family and how to have a family structure and how family's supposed to be. I try to even bring them back where we sit around the table, eat dinner. You know what I mean? Those type of things. Because people got away from that.
They got away from it. I like that.
But I try to do that. So legacy is not just leaving a job or some inheritance for money and land. It's also a way of life and a blueprint to help society keep going on some more respectable time. I'm not ashamed to say that I got 3 daughters, and I never not once seen one of them twerking on Instagram or any social media. I just never seen it. I'm sorry.
Hallelujah.
And look my daughters up. They just don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think a great part of that is because father was in the house.
That's excellent. I think Chris Rock said something about that, right? That his main sole purpose
is to keep his daughter.
His main sole purpose as a father was to keep his daughter off the pole. Because the father is around.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I have to agree. It makes a big difference in your daughter's and your son's life to have a father there. It's something about his voice. It's something about his presence. They all go through their little phases where they try to kick back, but when fathers show up, all that.
You're burning me up right now. I have to share this fatherhood fact.
Go ahead.
I have to share this fatherhood fact.
Please.
Just the facts, and this is by the National Fatherhood Initiative. Involved dads improve their children's overall emotional and social well-being. Involved dads. We're not talking about just dads in the house, because dad may not be in the house. He just may, have an issue with the mother. But the thing is, if he's involved, the overall emotional well-being is there. Social well-being. I want to share this other one too. Boys have fewer behavioral problems, and girls have fewer psychological problems when they have involved dads.
Wow.
You just talking about involved dads. When you said that, I'm like, I had to pull this out.
Yeah.
I had to pull this out because we have to talk about the statistics.
That's right.
We have to talk about that because we're informed. See, I believe in being an informed person, being an informed man, being an informed father. So that's why we bring people here.
Yes.
We bring people here. We have something to say that can inform the audience, that can inform culture, reforming the image of fatherhood in our culture.
Yes, I agree. I think it's very important. And no shot against the ladies and the moms. They're doing an excellent job. But this is a father show. So I will say that, and we got to big up the fathers. Fathers go through a lot. People don't understand that, a lot of times he has a lot of weight on them. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff with society and all this stuff. And, just stuff that we even deal with here in the States. But fathers, they go through. And it's a lot of fathers that are doing great things, too. Yes. A lot of times we don't see this in the media. But a lot of people be excellent fathers. I mean, let's just think, for instance, for a lot of rappers that we see that's talking all types of different that like we don't agree with, right?
Right.
A lot of them got children that go to private school. They're gonna get inheritance. They're driving nice cars or whatever. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of rappers that I can't believe he was said that. I can't believe he rapped like that. Meanwhile, back at his house, he's father of the year.
That's just the job.
We can't touch him. That type of stuff. Like, he's on our level. We can't touch. He's the father of the year. But through the music, you would never know it. You know what I mean? But he's home. Again, kids going to private schools. They going on vacation. They going on, all types of vacations. They going to summer camp. You know what I mean?
Private schools.
And I don't know, but media won't show that. They won't show someone that's a quote unquote rapper or entertainer. They won't show the father. Oh, that's personal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's talking about shooting and killing.
I know. That's
But great father at home.
Oxymoron.
But we see that all the time.
But one thing I do want to big up all fathers, because we serve humanity. We do everything that we do, but a lot of times they don't see when we are holding down. A lot of us men, we hold down the fort. We're making sure that house is paid. Yes. We're making sure the mortgage is taken care of, both car notes, and everything is taken care of, so that our wives can look nice, so that our women can look nice. Yes. But they don't see that. The society doesn't see that. And then those of us that have been graced to do good things in the initiative and business and just travel and all that.
Yes.
We don't. It's like we don't get the attaboys that we should.
Yes.
And not that I'm looking for that. Not that most men are looking for that. But it'd be good not just other days other than Father's Day. Right. What do you think about that? Because a lot of men they working. They're working right now. They're working right now. They plumbers. They're doing everything, but they don't get the shout outs.
Yeah.
But they get it from the father's coach though.
You know what? And I feel for men, and I always knew, subconsciously I knew we need each other. Brothers we need each other, right? Yeah. But since I've done this show with part 1 and now part 2, you opened up my eyes to see how much we really need each other. Yeah. And I think we touched on something where I said, men probably need to meet once a month or something. Or a men's group, a husband group, whatever you want to call fathers group. But we're going to have to do that throughout the country because men are actually going through stuff silently. Me and Half Amazing, off camera, we talked about something that Joe Rogan touched on. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of this word, but it's called quiet desperation. And you ever heard that? Quiet desperation? And it's something, it's a saying that someone said, I don't know if it's a doctor, a psychologist, whatever, but something they study where men go through something called a quiet desperation. I'm not going to give it all away, but look that up. And you can actually plug Joe Rogan and say Joe Rogan quiet desperation. He kind of explains it with a therapist that's on there. And it's something that men deal with. And just to give you like a nutshell, a quick nutshell of what's going on as far as that, it's like what you said. Men got to pay bills. Men got to do this. College tuition. He got to be strong. He can't show emotions. He can't be sensitive. He can't go through stuff. He has to always go out here and on the battlefield, bring home the meat, boom. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's like, but men are human too. Men can go through some stuff, but of course, we're not really allowed to show our emotions. You know what I mean?
So we can show our emotions here.
And I
want to do this. I want to do this thing. Just like the statue saying, you want to carry the next generation.
That's right.
This is given to me by a great man.
And for us to be able to carry the next generation, we're going to have to have strength. We're going to have people to hold us up because a lot of times that looks good, but a lot of times a man needs someone else holding him up too sometimes. And, and wives, don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of them try to do their best with that, but sometimes you need a brother, to hold you up and say, hey, I know what you're going through because no one knows a man going through like a man. And the same thing with a woman. Women don't know, a man wouldn't understand what a woman go through like another woman would. You know what I mean? So, and we have to be sensitive to that and we have to understand that, but it's a lot of stuff, and this is the father's coach, so I can, So we can open up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot of stuff that men deal with. It's a lot of stuff that men accept that the other parties would never be able to accept it. And just like you said, Father's Day. We wait for Father's Day. You might get the same tie. You might not say that. You might get a different tie. Yes. But everybody know what you kind of already know what you're going to get for your Father's Day. You already know what you're going to get for your birthday. You know. But can you imagine if we just deliver the same presents all the time, the same thing? You can't even take a woman on the same trip. You can't even take her to the same restaurant. But back in the day, you're going to Denny's. But anyway, I said it's a lot of stuff that men, we just take it. We need, that's some things that we need. And I think you said it last week. You said it again today. Right. But having a forum for men to talk. Yes. I'm willing to do this. Right. If you're willing to do this, I'm willing to go from different states and those that will have us to go have this dialogue, this type of thing, and just have a collection. Right. Now, that's one of my favorite quotes is when you're in a fight, call your brothers. When you're in a storm, call a father. Wow. When you're in a fight, call your brothers. When you're in a storm, call your father.
Yeah. So he has to be there.
Yes, I agree.
There was a situation that I was in. I shared this one time before. There was a situation that I was in, and it was overwhelming, and I was tearing. I was driving and everything, and I was like, Lord, who can I talk to? Who can I talk to? And I just had a vision of the face, and the Lord showed me a face of a father, and I was able to call that man. And I was at a low point now, and he was like, Kevin, you all right, man, this is good. Just you just looking at it from a different perspective. This is how I'm gonna show you how to walk it out. And he walked it out because I was talking to a father. So when you're in a fight, you call another brother. You're like, yo,
yeah, we need you.
We can do this. We can do this. And sometimes all I need, I'm a man.
That's all men need.
I just need somebody just to talk.
Let me know.
Talk.
Yes,
talk.
I agree.
Just to talk for a cup of coffee.
Yes.
After a cup of coffee, then we good.
Yes.
I'm good after that. If we can get that, and then I go back. I'm strengthened. I'm refreshed. I go back to being, number one husband, number one dad.
And I'm glad you said that because you know what? Another thing is that it don't take much for men. It don't take much for a real man. It don't take much. But a lot of times we want something different. We want change. We want you to see. We want to see that you have thought a little bit extra with certain things, if you're a giver and stuff like that, most men are providers and givers. And the reason why we like that because that's how we love. We protect and we provide. That's how men love, protection and provision. And we don't mind that. We don't look for nothing. But every now and then, it's always good to do something extra for men. It's always a good idea to surprise them or say, you thought you was gonna get this, but we're gonna do this. You know, men like those type of things as much as they like to be respected. You know, one thing about men, number one, respect me. You know what I mean?
Give me some honor.
You know what I mean? So honor and respect. That's our thing. You know what I mean? But again, we don't ask for much. And a lot of good men, you don't have to do a whole lot, but just do something different. You know what I mean? Just do something different.
You know, something about us men is funny. Us men, everything that we do is for other people. The book, I want to write a book and just write a book about just Kevin Khalif Tus Muhammad, Kevo. I want a book about that. But I write a book about sonship, fathering, and the journey of becoming. Sonship, fathering, and the journey of becoming. So it's my becoming a man.
Yes.
With using my father and my uncles and the generations of Kelley men, you know, in this country, you know, their stories and the disciplines and the core values that I've had, right? And then I wrote another book, right? What's this other book called? The Father's Breakthrough Leadership Manual, Time Dominion. These are books right here is about men. It's about men, how to like professional development. I'm like, wow, we still giving.
Yes.
I feel that I know I'm an author, right? But I'm writing books to enhance society, to move society forward, humanity forward, right? So we're giving even in our authorship.
And look how much we take. Like men take a whole lot.
Mindset go.
That's right.
What is this book for?
It's to build you up.
To build you up.
Yeah, help you realize that you are bigger than what you know. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, you know, one thing about men, we take a lot. We take a lot of beatings and we take a lot of stuff. We just don't say nothing. Yeah. We go at quiet desperation.
But we're made for it. And I think that's with podcasts like this and with structures and with relationships.
Yes.
And I'm glad that now you're part of my tribe. I'm part of your tribe.
Absolutely.
So now we can have these dialogues and we can start doing things. We start establishing. Just like the fact that you invited us and the Father's Coach, you know, community into Africa with you.
Yes.
What? That's powerful.
Yes. Because I want you guys to experience. I want a lot of people see I post on my Instagram, Top Shelf D-Reed. Shameless plug, right? But
it's all good.
But I now post the pictures because I want people to see. I mean, even this statue is very nice, the statue. But they also got the statue in Senegal called the Black Family. You've seen that before?
Yes, I did.
And it's the Black Family. So when you see it in person, I actually been inside it and went all the way up to the top because you can actually go into all the way up to. I think he's holding a candle or something. I think he's holding something, whatever. But it's something that he's holding. But you can go all the way up to the top. It's an elevator. You take the steps. But I want people to feel the culture. It's like you can go a lot of places, but Africa is one of the only places I've been that has some type of a spiritual connection the moment you land. And I'm sure y'all heard things where people say when they hit Africa, they want to kiss the ground. And
as soon as your foot hit the ground, right?
It's something. I can't explain it. It's a spiritual vibe. It's a frequency. It's something that happens when you feel like you're connected. It's almost as if you got a Latino person that may go back to Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? They feel home. We're going back to our roots, our connection. And one thing about Latino people, they be like, oh, you got to go to Puerto Rico. And they right. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel when I go back to Africa. When I go back to Africa, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wow. And I love that legacy. I love the inheritance. And don't get me wrong, I love everything that we do. And you know, when we talking, our wives, I know your wife probably take care of you. My wife takes care of me too. And she, you know, my wife gave me the other day, she gave me a air freshener because she said, I want your car to smell fresh.
Okay, good.
Because she was getting one for herself too. Right?
That's right.
She was getting one for herself too. But you know, just those little things, those acts of kindness to one another, you know, in marriage and in your kids too.
Yes.
You know, there's some things that I give to my daughter. I share with my daughter. We give her more than what we had.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a catch-22 to that too. Me and my wife actually been married for 26 years, going on 27 years. You know what I mean? And we got 3 girls and a son. You know what I mean? And they're actually older now, so we don't watch them grow up. My youngest is 24. Wow. I think she's 23. 23? Yeah, 23. She's 23. So my youngest is 23, so my oldest is 33. You know what I mean? Wow. So my kids are all grown. We're empty nesters. And let me tell you something. You can be a good father and exemplify a great relationship before them and all that. But it's a catch-22 because I'm going to tell you why. It's great that you established that. No one's going to say this, though. But what happens is it puts that relationship blueprint in your kids early, where your kids are almost looking for relationships and being tied up in a relationship at 19 and 20 and like, oh, no, no. If you're not married, don't act like you're married. You know what I mean? And you know, everybody had a little
That's
girlfriend.
interesting.
But all they know is mommy and daddy together. That's all they know. You know what I mean?
Image.
And mommy and daddy I didn't switch up and the new guy come in. I ain't switch up and a new woman came in. You know what I mean? All they know is mom and dad together. So when the only thing that I see the catch-22, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I do want my kids to live life and take their time. You know what I mean? Because in relationships is young. You know, I want them to enjoy their life. I want them to, explore. I want them to be able to travel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because guess what? If you're single, you ain't got no business acting like you're married. And if you're married, you ain't got no business acting like you're single.
Say that again.
If you're single, you ain't got no business acting like you're married. And if you're married, you ain't got no business acting like you're single. So being though they saw me and my wife together all the time, that's all they know.
Wow.
And it's a great thing in the long run. It's a great thing, but right now, I need you to be in your 20s because the 20s, that people don't understand that it's more so like your mistake years, not you're deliberately making mistakes. So
you're finding yourself.
You're finding yourself. So I tell even my kids, don't beat yourself up too bad. You're in your 20s. Or don't be all mad if your boyfriend or girlfriend don't want to be with you no more. You only need to get in your 20s. They got to live. They got to make mistakes.
I got a quick story for you. So in my 20s, I just came back from England. I was in England for 3 years. I was in the Air Force. So as soon as I came back home from England, came back to North Jersey, my father was like, listen, you ready? You ready to go to the next level? I said, yes. I was like, ready to go to the next level. He's like, all right. I was looking at a house for you before you came home. I was looking at a house, and I saw the house. I think you should go for it. I wasn't ready. Yeah. I wasn't ready. I've been overseas for 3 years. I just want to come back around here to a round-the-way girl. That's what I wanted. Right. I wanted everything that I heard overseas and Fight the Power and PE and everything. I wanted to experience all of that I saw, on the videos and MTVs and stuff like that. But when I came back home, my father was like, "Come on, get your stuff together. Get your head right. I want to help you get a house." After a while, he saw that I wasn't ready. He backed off. So I'm saying is, but I'm glad that he did that for me. Right. In hindsight, I'm glad that he backed off. Right. But I'm glad he actually had vision. He cast a vision for me. So as you were talking here, I just thought about that. I reminisced how my father was. I wasn't casting vision right. Yeah, I still wanted to party. I still want to hang out, do Manhattan, do Brooklyn. I want to do all that kind of stuff, right? Until I got ready. And he was like, okay, now you ready? Now you ready? Yeah. So we're casting vision to our family, to our wives. Yes. Because they need to see us with vision. That's cool. You're casting vision in front of your children. Yeah. And also, now that you're an empty nester, you're also casting vision. Yeah. And legacy for all of us. And I like that. I dig that. Man, don't get me wrong. My kids probably look at me and be like, well, Dad, you did it. You know what I mean? Time's a little bit different now. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that we can go back, we would do over. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I'm glad that I made out great. You trust me. You know what I mean? There's always exceptions to the rule. But I just want young people to really get to know themselves more. I think before you start pouring into other people's cup, I think you need to have your cup at least full. Full, halfway. Yeah, at least halfway full. And it's about exploring. It's about knowing yourself, because what they don't know is that the older you get and you get closer to them 30s and stuff, a lot of stuff change. You become another person. You become a person that your tolerance change, or your tastes change, your likes change, and a lot of stuff change. You know what I mean? And a lot of times in 30s, you're actually fixing or repairing a lot of stuff that you did in your 20s. You know what I mean? And if you married in your 20s, I got married at 27. Wow. I got married at 27. I got married at 23. Oh, wow. So I was young buck. So when I got married at 27, and what happened was there was something like hamburger helper, right? Yeah. My wife was making hamburger helper. So we lived together for about a year before we got married. Right. So when she made hamburger helper, I just ate it. So then years later, when we relocated down to Delaware, we relocated down to Delaware, she was like, I want to make some hamburger helper. I was like, she was like, why not? I was like, I kind of don't like it. But when not? When didn't you start liking it? I said, well, I never did. I never did like it. I said, I never did like it. Really? I said, I never did like it. But then I realized that communication piece, whatever, even if having those hard conversations, it's needed. It's needed. So I shifted. Wow. So I'm not the same person I was when I got married, 27. Right. Of course. And I wasn't the same person at 37. Right. I'm not the same person at 47. Right. But we still together. Right. You know what I'm saying? We still together. We are still together. So, we change. We're at different phases. So she was with me. I'm rocking with her. She's rocking with me. Yes. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So that's my favor. Oh, that's awesome. So I make sure I try to cover her, try to protect her, whatever. Yes. Because when she's praying, I don't want her praying to God like, listen, Lord, Kevin, you need to get this dude. I want her to pray, Lord, prosper him. I wish above all things that he will prosper, be in great health as his soul prospers. I want her to pray those prayers. So that's why she's my favorite. So that's why I wanted to talk about marriage.
That's awesome to hear. And I listen.
And I ain't perfect now. I made some mistakes, and she made, we good.
That's right.
We good. God's with us, and He protects us.
That's right. We had to go through the tough times. That's what builds you up to make for the good times. It builds you up. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time.
Marriage counselors,
all that stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? I look at it as a weight. Sometimes the weight be too heavy on you. You know what I mean? In a relationship, and just like in the gym, if it get too heavy, what you do? You call a spotter. I gotta call a spotter. And sometimes relationships doesn't realize that some stuff that comes on you and your spouse, you and your boyfriend or whatever, you and your spouse. Let me just say you and your spouse. You don't understand that we're not hearing each other.
Right.
We going through some stuff. It's too much weight.
Yeah.
Well, you need a spotter. If you was in the gym and you put the weights on and you can't lift it, guess what you're going to do? You will go bother somebody and say, hey, can you spot me? Why? Because it's weight a little bit too heavy and I don't want to.
Sometimes you need a mediator.
And that's what you need. And in a relationship, you have to realize that sometimes we're not going to hear each other. And I admire anyone who wants to call in a spotter, call in a counselor, whatever you want to call it. We need someone to help us lift this weight because right now it's too heavy and we need someone to lift it. And a lot of couples don't do that. And a lot of times they end up into a dying state. You know, you can be in a relationship with someone and not even realize that you're in a dying state. Yeah. There's signs for dying states, but why? Because you got too much weight on you and y'all up there trying to lift something that you can't lift and you need help.
You need help.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you 100%. There's a lot of times you're going through things, and I think there's a measurement. As one of my mentors, we always talk about, measuring and gauging. Mm-hmm. So if you seeing you going down the wrong path, you're about to hit the stop sign or a brick wall, you're about to hit a brick wall. If you're about to hit a brick wall, you get closer and closer. You're like, wait a minute, let me measure. I'm getting close. I think there's some measurements in our lives to let us know if we're on the right track or not. Because if you're on the wrong track, then you get the spotter. I saw something. I want to bring this up because I have to, because I'm a troublemaker sometimes on Instagram, and I do that to invoke thought or to change or give someone a new perspective. Go for it.
But I saw the guy. I don't forget his name. It's on my page. I'm a troublemaker. Let me give y'all a disclaimer. All right. Sometimes I'm a troublemaker anyway. And he posted something. He said, "Me and my wife." He's like a speaker, a motivational speaker, or maybe a counselor. I don't know. "Me and my wife, we go out every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night, we sit at the table. We go to a restaurant. We go sit down at the table every Wednesday night. And every night, I asked her, how did I love you last week on a scale of 1 to 10? I said, and I'm thinking to myself, he did that every week. I mean, I got a problem with it, but, to each his own, you know what I mean? But then I got other questions. Does she do that too? Does she ask you? Because I'd be damned if anybody asks a woman, well, you going to grade a woman. I mean, that's just me.
I disagree. I disagree. I'm going to tell you why. I disagree.
I just wonder how you feel about that.
Because my wife and I, we're marriage counselors.
Right.
So what we normally do is we ask people to have check-ins, whether on Sundays or Mondays or whatever, do a check-in every week the same time and say, how can I have been more, how can I have communicated better this week than last week?
Once they're in marriage counseling.
No, I'm talking about just life. This is just principles that you, as a married couple.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you do this for your wife, you're gonna be a winner.
So every week he said, and she said,
I'm just saying, you bring this up. Bring this up to your wife,
right?
And say, listen, I want to do a check-in, but I'm gonna give you something to think about. Here's the 3 questions. How did I, did I communicate, or did I make you feel loved? Did I make you feel?
How often? I'm with it. Just so you know, I'm with it.
You can start off maybe twice a month, but I would suggest once a week. You want to be a hero. You want to be a champion this season of your life, man. Right. You were an empty nester, man. You want to be running around that house like Tarzan, man. So I think you should do this, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I think it might be necessary. I mean, but I'll be honest.
It's called a check-in. It's called a check-in.
I just know that
you'll be a winner.
I know men will definitely probably do that. I got a point. I feel that men would do that. I just don't know.
You think it's too much? You think it's an overkill?
Every week is definitely to me. I think it's an overkill every week if it's not necessary.
But twice a month.
I'm cool with even twice a month. I'm cool even once a month or even twice a month. I just think every week, every dinner, and I actually comment on there, and I was like, I don't know about that, you know what I mean? But I also flipped it and say, would the woman do that? Do the woman call and check in? Do she call and say, hey?
She probably wants to do that.
Or do he bring her to the carpet and say?
Not to the carpet. It's just dialogue. It's over dinner, over lobster. You're like, hey, babe, how can I?
So she would have to say that to you. Say, hey, babe, how can I do this better? How can I? You know what I mean?
And I'm like, yeah, we were good. But this happened right here. Especially if you're in a rebuilding stage. I think you're rebuilding, right?
Those are key things I'm looking for. See, what you're saying is that if we're in rebuilding stage, if something happened, are we already in counseling?
Not something happened. What I mean by rebuilding is like you're in the second phase, another phase of your life.
Right.
And so now you getting, you want to, like you won your wife,
right.
like you won her,
right.
You want to have that same swag, but 10 times better.
Right.
You just said you had a 50th birthday party last year, right?
Yes.
So now 51, you swagging up.
I'm swagging up.
You swagging up, and you bringing the emotional stuff.
I agree.
You write a book, you're going to, but listen, you dedicate a chapter to her.
Yeah, I think, and to his credit, and the wife, she commented on there, she said, I love my cornball husband or something like that. And I said, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm happy that she actually commented on there and feel that way. And I just thought it was a bit much to me every week. I flipped it. I didn't think, I knew it was no problem for me to say that, but I just got a problem with me feeling like I have to grade my wife. I don't think women.
Right.
I don't think women is cool.
No.
I just don't think women are going to be cool.
I don't mean degrading.
Not degrading. Grading.
Oh, grading her
from scale of 1 to 10.
But she's grading you. You're having a dialogue.
Oh, they good with that. They
got
no problem grading.
Because you talking about
you got an F.
So you give her the top 3, and she get the top 3.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing.
Right.
I just think it's a good thing.
Right.
So
I just again, women they have no problem. And trust me, if you're not doing something right, is your wife gonna let it slide? She's not gonna let that slide. She's not gonna let it slide.
Oh, but this is good. This is good.
And I wanted to bring that up because it was a great conversation. We ended on a good laugh and all that stuff. So yeah.
But this one little piece though, even by marriage, I want to share this one last thing. Just even to be a little more intimate with your wife, in the mind, and just find out her love language. There's a quick test. I can email you that little link. Just a quick test. Test. You may find out that may be what she wants.
Yeah.
Those type of things. You'll be a winner.
Yeah.
Nobody have to know. Nobody have to know. We don't have to know that he's doing those check-ins every week.
Check-ins every week.
Twice a month.
Twice a month. I'm cool with twice a month.
Twice a month. So thank you for coming back. Man, thank you for the part 2.
Awesome.
I really appreciate you.
It's fulfilling, man.
Because just you coming back here, I know we had, the chemistry was here. Both married men.
Yes.
Both Renaissance men. I'm a Renaissance man too.
Yes.
Both fathers.
Come on now.
Both in business. Both in the community.
We have to be.
Both doing some great things. Both know God.
Yes.
Not just believers. We both know God.
That's right.
We know God. So
that's right.
So thank you so much again.
My pleasure.
The Father's Coach, bless you.
Bless you too, brother. Thank you so much, man. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Good stuff.
Always.
That's good stuff.
That's what's up.
So we thank you. We want to thank all of our listeners that came, everybody that watched, and thank you for coming. And I want you actually to pick up this book. I want you to subscribe. I want you to subscribe to at the Father's Coach podcast. Also, look at our books here. Look at the statue here. Look at us here. We're men. We're just regular men just like you. We want to go to the next level. What we want to do is we want to reform the image of fatherhood in our culture. And I think we've done that today. Thank you. See you next episode. Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach. We had a great time tonight. I'm telling you, this is awesome. We had Derrick D. Reed, the author, Derrick D. Reed, the entrepreneur, Derrick D. Reed, the man, the Renaissance man. So we had a great time. We want you to subscribe to the channel. We want you to actually purchase our books, Sonship, Fathering, and the Journey of Becoming, and all the other products. Just look at me. Come back.